All right, so here we have the brakes. This is the Brembos, obviously. So my brake pad started squealing like about 500 miles ago. It's actually the driver's side that's squealing. The passenger side seems to be okay. But let's take this off and show you guys how to basically replace the pads. So this is the stock Brembo pads. The cool thing about the Brembo brakes is they make them very easy to change the pads. So what you need is a little punch. Actually, I have several. I have this tapered one and I have a straight one. I'm gonna use the tapered one first, then I'm gonna use the straight one. And you need a hammer. So I have a tiny little one. So on the outside one here, there's two little spots right here. As you can see, you make sure that your punch is small enough so that you don't hit the caliper itself. All right, and basically you're punching it in right there, like so. I'll get this on this angle because the other angle it's actually the camera's in my way. So basically, use the punch them out. And before you do this, it's best to wash where the brake is and let it dry. The washing part basically reduces the brake dust, and brake dust is not good for you. It's bad stuff to be breathing that stuff in. I still have some brake dust. You can see. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. It's kind of floating off a little bit. That's because I washed this thing a little while ago and I drove it around a little bit too. So the car wasn't freshly washed basically. That's what I'm saying. So I'll sit right there. And now basically the thing that's holding it on, well, actually the two things that's holding these two pins on this right here, these little barrel things right here. I'm not sure if you guys can tell from the camera, but it's kind of tapered and it kind of flares out a little bit, and you can see the slit right there. When you put it in, it actually squeezes in, and the barrel tapered on it, that's what holds it in place. So right now those two are off. So the only thing that's holding it are this clip here, this clip. So that's what's giving that resistance. So now if I push the pin in like so, I can't really push it in, but if I actually push this down right here, take the resistance off, the spring resistance basically, the spring load, it basically comes off, slides out easier, much easier. Right, like so. So once you get that out, once it actually passes the spring, and this loosens up, and also this top one has no tension at all because it's not being pushed by the spring anymore. So it's like so, like that. That's it. All right. So you see how it goes on. And these two slide out. It's gonna be a little bit dirty, a little bit gritty, I think. But that's just the dirtiness. All right. So this part right here, you can't just pull the brake pads out. Well, you might be able to, but usually they're a little stuck. So what I do is I actually, because the rotor is basically free floating in here, right? There's nothing really holding the rotor down. Right, nothing holding the rotor down. So what I do is I actually just kind of wiggle the rotor around a little bit, like so. Like that. That will actually free up the brake pads a little bit. So let me do that again. Like that. Right, this side too. That will free up the brake pads a little bit, and it should just kind of slide right out almost. Oops. So that's it. That's one side. That's the other side. And that's it. So now what you need to do is I recommend you clean up where the pistons are here. The 4 pistons. And I usually use Simple Green. And that's probably the best thing because Simple Green it degreases. It breaks down oil and such. So if anything in here is oily and such, it'll break that down. It cleans all the dirt off. And it doesn't harm any of your seals. You have the rubber seal where each piston is. It doesn't harm that. So that's what I recommend you do. Use Simple Green. I would probably just use the concentrated Simple Green instead of diluting it out. Usually when you buy Simple Green, It comes in most of the time it comes in a concentrated form. You know, you buy it by the gallon or the 2 gallon or 3 gallon, whatever it is. It's concentrated and in the on the side or, you know, on the label it says, you know, dilute out for whatever. I recommend you not diluting out and just use the pure stuff, so that way it cleans easier, faster. So, you know, use an old toothbrush to clean this out. All right. Then you also you could get the new backing. So there's this metal piece right here. There's this metal backing piece. Also, it'll be sandwiched between this metal backing piece and the metal back of the brake pad itself. There's another little. It looks like a rubberized another rubberized metal piece. And obviously between those 3 layers, you know, between the back of the brake pad, the rubberized metal piece, and the piston backing piece right here, there's the God, what's that stuff called now? I can't forget what it's called. You know, the stuff that when you use basically that little gooey kind of almost like adhesive sort of stuff. So you know, you use a little bit of that, and I'll show you in the next video when I install this. But anyways, clean this up. So you could either buy the new backing pieces, or you could take this off and clean it up really well. And I also use Simple Green pure stuff, undiluted, and toothbrush, and it's gonna take some scrubbing, especially to get that gluey, you know, that gooey adhesive stuff off. You might need to get a razor and just kind of use the razor to clean it off. But anyways, so clean that off. That you could put, you know, then that way you could reuse this. That's what I'm gonna do. I didn't buy, you know, new backing pieces. I'm actually gonna clean it up and reuse it. Again, this car only has 13,500 miles, but you know, my brake starts squealing already. So this side here, you can look at it. It's actually pretty new. It's still pretty good actually. So this is the outside. The sound indicator here you see here. That's on the outside. The side that doesn't have the sound indicator is on the inside. The outside looks a little bit newer than the inside does. And I'm actually, looks like I'm like 2 millimeters or so away from here. So I actually still have plenty of life left in this one. And this one a little bit less life. But it's, you know, it's that my driver's side is the side that's squealing. That's basically it's really touching here. So so basically it's time for change. I mean, I could probably make it last for another maybe 500 miles, but I'm just gonna change it now anyways. Might as well, because I already have the the brake pads. Yes, I already have the brake pads. So these are basically, that's just solid. There's no slit in them. So that's interesting. I could have swore there was a slit in it. I thought there was anyways. But anyways, so there's that. So stay tuned for the next video.